Hi guys, it's Ralph from Trekitt here, and today I'm joined with Rich from Altra. So Rich, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, I appreciate it.
We're going to talk predominantly about the Lone Peak 9 Plus, because that's obviously a new model. It's just arrived with us now, so we're all very excited about it. But for anyone who doesn't know, maybe you could just give us a bit of an overview of the brand and the story behind Altra.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we've been going now for officially for 15 years. The initial idea of it came way back in 2009 in Utah, a running shop called Runner's Corner, where our founder, or two of our co-founders, used to work. So we had Brian Beckstead and Golden Harper. And in the running store that they used to work at, they used to have a unique way of lacing the shoes. They used to, instead of crisscrossing at the forefoot, they used to put one lace across the front and then lace them lengthways.
Oh, okay.
And that would allow the toes to splay and relax. And you turn up at a local road race and everyone's got the shoes laced like this. So big community sort of running store there. And they just used to preach about the idea of allowing the toes to relax and splay, and it's healthier for your foot. You're going to run more efficiently. You're not going to have all these foot problems earlier and later on. And following that, one day Golden Harper then decided to take one of his shoes and put it in a toaster oven.
Okay.
And heat it to 275 degrees Celsius. And that allowed the TPU overlays on the shoes to melt. And he took it out and he hacked the heel off.
Okay.
And re-glued it back on. So he marked out the difference from where the height of the shoe was higher with the heel to the forefoot. Cut it off, re-glued it to then have what we call a zero drop shoe. So the same amount of cushioning from the heel through to the front. And he just said that allowed him to run more efficiently. He felt more natural. Rather than having a heel where it was higher at the back and it wasn't the front, he could just have more balance all the way through his foot on equal distribution. And he was like, wow, this feels amazing. And then from that, it then just went crazy. It got completely out of hand. They started hacking heels off the shoes in the shop.
Okay.
With this new idea that the zero drop would allow you to run more efficient. So there was a big emphasis on running biomechanics back sort of 2009, 2010. Barefoot was a big thing as well. So we had shoes with cushioning. So there was all these barefoot running shoes. But what people needed realistically was something with a bit of cushioning. So again, similar sort of concept, natural toe box, but the cushioning just for the harder surfaces. So we had a lot of people going into that. But then it got to the point where they were hacking so many shoes off, they had to send people to a shoe cobbler across the street who they went and spoke to. They paid $20 after they bought a brand new pair of shoes. He'd hack the heels off and then he'd re-glue them back on. And in 2009, the store itself sent over 1,000 people to that shoe cobbler.
Wow.
To get them modified. And at that point it was a case of, okay, are we going to just keep doing this, or are we going to go with it? And at that point Brian and Golden decided to go to the brands and say, can you do a shoe with a foot-shaped toe box and zero drop? And a lot of the brands just said, no, we're not doing that. It's not something that we feel is us. It's too niche. So Brian went to his dad, and his dad gave him his inheritance and remortgaged his house, and said, there you go, start your shoe company up. And Brian's was quite a unique story, our original founder, because he had a really bad experience doing a 100-mile ultra called Wasatch. 100 in the US. This was in 2008, so just before the whole idea of lacing the laces lengthways, where he blistered his feet so badly, he's duct taped them together, and then the duct tapes ripped the blister off at mile 65.
Oh no!
And but he's finished. He finishes it. He hobbles in. He's putting his feet in ice buckets at certain ages, but he finishes. And that was when the idea of kind of the foot-shaped toe box came about. So Brian goes away and designs a shoe, which is the Lone Peak. It's the first shoe we ever made. It wasn't the first one we brought to market, it was the first one we ever made. And he goes back to the Wasatch 100 3 years later, and he runs 3 hours faster, and his feet have no blisters, no bruising, And at like mile 97, he kind of smiled and went, "Yeah, this is going to work."
Amazing.
And the fact he'd gone to a zero drop shoe meant his hamstring injury had completely gone. He was working lower limb mobility a lot more. He was running more efficiently. And that's when it took off, really. That was kind of like the eureka moment of it works. And this shoe now for us in the US, which is obviously much more popular there, is the top selling running trail shoe in retail. So yeah.
Fantastic.
Play to me. So,
that's a great story, isn't it?
It is, yeah, it is. It's fantastic. It's a brilliant way to kind of showcase the brand, and there is a human element to it. Brian still has a role within the company, so a bit more of an ambassadorial role. Like he's going around and doing tours, and he speaks at UTMB in Chamonix when we're there as well, and leads the run. He's been to Australia in previous weeks, and he's a brilliant advocate for the brand as well. And we still need someone like that, because as much as we're evolving, like kind of this is where it's all started for us. So.
Yeah, fantastic. Good. I just feel sorry for the cobbler who used to have 1,000 people going there.
If you get a chance, there was a fantastic video on our YouTube channel of that, where they go back to the cobbler and speak to him, and he must have made a lot of money that year.
Excellent.
So
good. Well, that's really interesting. Thank you. So obviously, this is a much loved shoe, very popular for us as well. Probably our biggest seller. So the 9 Plus, Olympic 9 Plus. Could you give us a bit of an overview of what's new, what's changed? Because I know there have been some quite big changes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'll just sort of go a little bit more into the toe box originally to begin with, because that is our USP. We have a foot-shaped toe box. That's what we call it. So the misconception of the brand is wide fitting, generally speaking, which is your widest part always comes here. We're just foot shaped. We do have the Lone Peak, for example, in wider widths, but basically the principle is we keep the big toe straight. So we always say, when you try an Altra on in the store, take the insole out, put your foot on the insole, and your foot will basically sit within the parameters of that toe box. You take it out from a traditional running shoe, you'll notice the tapering comes in a lot more. So we keep the big toe straight, allows us to have better balance, better running efficiency, walking efficiency, and the rest of the toes splay out. That naturally supports the body further up, but overall comfort is key, and that's the key part of the brand. We also have 3 different toe box fits. The Lone Peak is on what we call the original toe box. So that's the widest of the 3 that we do. The toe boxes vary within the models. We have a standard fit as well, and the tapering comes in a little bit earlier, and it's a bit more narrow on the midfoot, and there's less volume. And then we have like a slim fit as well, which is obviously a little bit more tapered and a little bit there. So we're allowed to do that to accommodate different foot sizes. Not everyone's foot's the same. Some people are going to have quite high volume midfoot. They're not going to take up the depth and might move around a little bit more. Others are going to be a lot wider. So we have that USP and then 3 different toe boxes to accommodate that. But that's kind of what we look at in terms of as a brand, keeping the big toe straight and having the toe splayed out. In terms of Lone Peak, quite a few updates on the 9 Plus, and the reason it's called 9 Plus is because we've now got the Vibram mega grip on the outsole, which we've been asked for quite some time, and we feel now's the right time to put that on. So we have the multi-directional lugs, so when you hit your heel striking, even if you're going out walking, they're going to dig in there, and then the reverse forward for when you're pushing off as well on there. We've made them slightly wider around the mid part here for a bit more stability and a bit more bite into the ground. But the Vibram rubber essentially is a lot more sticky and it's a lot more abrasive, so sometimes has a little bit more weight to the shoe, but when you're on those wet surfaces, rock in particular, which we know at this time of year is really a challenge when you're running a walk, and you're going to have that confidence to run in it. And also when you are running those wet surfaces, what you don't want is you don't want to be running up to it going, oh, I'm coming up to a wet rock, and then all of a sudden you're kind of locking your legs almost, and then before you know it, you're falling. You want to feel relaxed and running and in control, and that's what the Vibram allows you to do. So again, it's just going to allow for you to have that confidence when you're running as well.
Excellent.
I did my first test run last night back in Sheffield, and we took them through the woods and a bit on the wet grass. It was quite muddy as well, and yeah, it held up pretty well.
Yeah,
that's another thing. So yeah, you're going to get a little bit more stability from that as well when you're running. We've still got the stone guard in, which is, there you go, you can feel it there, that's integrated in the shoe. So again, if you are running on any rocky surfaces where it's pointing hard, you won't feel the stones or any rocks prodding under the foot, and it flexes and works with the foot. Slightly more thick around the ball of the foot and the heel, where you're going to have a heel strike, where you're going to push off. So we basically map it out to where the pressure points are the most with the shoe. Other updates to the shoe as well. We've just added the sidewall through here, and then around the side. So some of the comments I got when I first showed this to some of our retailers at our launch summit back in April in Berlin was people looking at it going, there's more stack in the shoe, and it's not. There's still 25mm stack, which is what it's all been. The idea with the sidewalls here is just to allow a bit more of a secure fit on the midfoot, so you're not peeling over the side. So the fact it's zero drop and level heel to the toe, it's going to allow your foot to move a little bit more. So we're just allowing it just to sit around the side of the foot, just for a more secure fit, and it's going to give you more confidence as well with that. Other updates we've got as well is we've also got rid of the TPU layers at the front, and we've just gone for a non-SU overlay there, so that just allows it to be more comfortable. It's also slightly more durable as well. That's another important thing that we've done in there. We've still got our element-based ripstop mesh, which obviously is a lot more better than open air mesh. It's not going to disintegrate as quick. Previously we put this on previous models in the Lone Peak 7, and yeah, it disintegrated a lot quicker for some people. So yeah, it's just much more durable, and that's what we want that quality, the durability at the front of the shoe as well. And then we've also gone to a polyurethane midsole. So again, a lot softer than previous ones. You can see there, it's really soft. And so it just adds nicely to the comfort. And we've also updated our Ego midsole to a molded compressed EVA. So again, slightly softer density. I personally found the Lone Peak 8 and 7 when I was running sometimes just a bit too firm. And given we have the stone guard in there as well, that does change the perception of how firm it is. So just having a little bit softer. I had a few people at the demo run last night who were big Lone Peak fans saying, oh, it feels like some of the old Lone Peaks it had from 4.5. So yeah, we still want to keep the Altra loyalists happy, as well as getting people into the shoe, so that's always good feedback as well. And all of our trail shoes as well feature the gaiter trap at the back of the shoe here, so pull that off there, so you can put your gaiters on and it folds over the front and just allows it to hook on the front of the shoe there. We've also added an extra eyelet on the outside. So going back to what I said earlier about the different toe box fits, some people have a high volume foot, some people are a bit wider. If you're like myself, a bit more of a high volume foot, then you can just lace it a little bit further out and it'll pull in. And that fits in nicely with our print lines around the outside of the shoe there as well. And we've also obviously got a gussetated tongue, which means obviously the tongue's not separated from the outside and the upper, so it just folds in nicely and holds the shoe. So yeah, overall, a fantastic update. The feedback we've had so far has been brilliant. I think the Vibram's a key feature. But yeah, a really nice continuation from previous models.
Excellent. Well, it's been so popular for so long, and I can see why just these sort of small but important changes of getting people excited. And I know that Trekitt, the guys here live in their Altras, and we're super excited about this one as well.
No, it's fantastic update. I can't wait to take mine out when I get back.
Good, excellent. Brilliant. Well, Rich, that's great. Thanks very much for that.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Cheers.